Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Guess who's back, y'all? Yes. I is back. And it's so funny how many times I've restarted this episode. One of which because I was like coughing like crazy and I almost thought I never would have made it. But here I am, guys. So yeah, I'm back. It's been really interesting because I have just, I don't know. I saw a meme and it was like, exhaustion-whelmulated, the feeling of being exhausted, overwhelmed, and overstimulated all at once. And that has literally been how I have felt. And I've been like today, we had a shoot earlier and my day started kind of early because my day starts pretty early on Thursdays because I have a Thursday morning small group. And, when I got home, I want to say, I don't even think it was 4. And man, I could have slept in the car. It's amazing that I was able to like actually get up and get in the house to get in my recliner and then ultimately take a nap because I was fine driving home. And then it's weird. It's like as soon as I pulled in the garage, I was just so tired. And that's been a thing a lot lately where I've been taking naps more after work than like I'm not a napper. So like that's not normal for me. And I am very off track with working out because I've had such low energy. Then that coupled with either having migraines or just a really bad headache. For a while, I was kind of sick, wasn't really sure. I kept thinking it was allergies, but then I'm like, oh, no, it's not. But then it's like by the time it got to the, oh, no, it's not, then it passed. So I don't know. It has been really weird the last several weeks. So here I am. That's why you guys haven't heard from me. Like I've just been struggling. Can't even say work is really busy because it's really not anymore. Thank God. We did have a really busy season for a while and it's kind of slowing down, which is nice. And yeah, like I said, I've been struggling. Then I had to get my nutrition in order and it's not even like I eat super crazy as far as like what I eat. But I started actually logging what I eat. And then what I realized is I wasn't eating enough. Like, I don't know if I just didn't have an appetite or I don't know how I got to the point where I was only eating like one actual meal per day. And then like small stuff outside of that. Like, so I'll do like a protein coffee, which is literally milk, coffee, protein powder, a little PB Fit, some cinnamon for a little razzle dazzle, either blended or, excuse me, in my shaker bottle. That's a newer thing because I didn't have one of those before, but I'm realizing on some days I just need to kind of be a little quicker or whatever. And then probably some Greek yogurt and maybe an apple or some applesauce. And like that would be breakfast. Lunch would be regular food, and then dinner, it would just kind of depend. And so usually I would like incorporate protein, but I just realized after I started logging it, like what they were saying I should eat, and I still don't get the calories that they say I should get, but I'm way better. And I feel like I'm at a better place. And I know eating more and whatever is helpful because I'm hungrier, and so like that means my metabolism is speeding back up because I couldn't figure out how, because I've only been off track with working out the last few weeks, but I still do CrossFit once a week because of staff workouts. So it's not like I've been completely inactive, and then I'm not as sedentary because like I don't fully work from home all the time. Like there are days even outside of Sunday where we go to the office or just whatever. And so then I'll like get up and move around, a little bit more intentionally or whatever. And so I couldn't figure out though, like, okay, I'm doing CrossFit. And there was a point when I was seeing myself losing weight and I just feel like I'm not getting the progress and making the progress that I should. So if it's not the working out that I'm doing, then I figured it had to be something with nutrition. And so I'm glad I kind of looked into that. And then I like bought a scale to weigh myself at home to just kind of monitor it a little more closely because I actually had gained weight and I didn't really realize that, but I didn't know what was going on and why I wasn't. It was weird. But then again, it's interesting because it's like in some ways my clothes fit different. So I know like weight isn't, especially when everything I do is like strength training for the most part. It's kind of like muscle is more dense than fat. So it's going to like your body's going to look different and you may even be smaller, even if the scale went up or whatever. But still, it got to a point where I was like, something ain't right. But I just wanted to check in. It's really interesting because also, and it's funny, I didn't want to talk about this before, but there's nothing to be ashamed of or anything with this, but there's somebody that I like. It's a different person, so it's not the person that I liked before. And it's really interesting because I don't know. One thing I've learned throughout all of this, as the little bit I've talked to this about some people, or just not even just this, just in general, is people will try to rush you to move or make a decision or do something when they are not the ones that have to live with the consequences of your actions. And I've been this way for a while. I do not believe in casual dating. And I just truly believe that, if God has a plan for my life that includes where I work, where I live, and all of that, not everybody lives their life that way, but I do. I believe that within that plan, he also factors in like who I will be with. And I know it to be true for like people that I know personally. So I know I'm not like making this up to feel like it could be that way. And it's interesting though, because when there's somebody that you're interested in and, I can't really say there's a God said, oh yes, this is the one, or I don't even fully know what that would look like. But I just know that having somebody in your life that you interact with, that you're like interested in, is interesting because, man, the amount of triggers that I have had and even additional healing that I've had to do, that I'm just like, bruh, am I just going to be broken forever? And I know that's not true, but it's just really interesting, and realizing how closed off I've always been in the past and just whatever. So it's this really interesting balance, and I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I always wish I could talk more freely. Like if I ever end up in a relationship, he would have to be on the show so that I could talk freely about whatever, because I always feel like you just never know who's listening and you never know whatever. And so as transparent as I am, there's always things I don't fully talk about on here. But what I will say is this. I know that I've always said, God's no means he has a yes that's better for you. And what I will say is with the last person that I was interested in, where that landed is just, I actually did finally say something to him. And he was like, he just saw me as a friend. That was like, gosh, a long time ago, like over a year ago, And so we're still friends or whatever. It's fine. But what's interesting is, okay, so that was like a rejection. And they always say that rejection is God's redirection. And so not a long time later, because time has, whatever. But however many months later is when I met this other person. And what I will say, and who knows, this could be like a no from God too. And God is just using all of this to just continue to get me more healed. Because I don't know, interacting with both of these people has been in some scenarios where it's kind of like I would be around them whether I wanted to or not, in a sense. And it's really highlighted a lot of stuff in my heart and whatever, and just a lot of wounds and fears and insecurities and whatever, right? But what I will say is, like I said a little bit ago, God's no is because his yes is what's better. And I will say, you don't necessarily compare people, but it's like, I'm glad the other person was God's no. No shade to them, literally at all. But the reason I'm glad is because the person that I'm interested in now is just, as I've really thought more about like what I need, what I desire, and whatever, this person more fits it. And the reason I know that is not because they try to be anything. They're just them, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, wow, that's actually what I've kind of probably always needed somebody to do or be or whatever. So yeah, however, I don't know. I'm at this place where I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to be telling another man anything unless I'm supposed to. So like God has actually given me the green light. I don't know in that last instance, I don't know. And maybe he did just to like close the door, because God allows things and everything has like its own purpose. And I think it was good that I finally said something to kind of like not wonder anymore or whatever, and just kind of be able to just move forward. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is what I say now, but we'll see if it comes up naturally, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So that's my life. That's my update. Oh, y'all, I did somebody's senior photos and it was such a fun experience. And, it was so fun. Like, it was so fun scouting out locations. It was so fun just being in the shoot, and there's, always more to learn, whatever, because that was my first like shoot like that. But I did like go into it, like did a little bit of research, like, okay, what are some poses for a male? Because it was a young man whose photos I did, and then his whole family was there. And so I had said to the mom who set it up, like, hey, like, while you guys are here, I'll also do your family photo too, just because. And what I told her is I was kind of using them as like hey, I'm trying to see if this is something I want to continue to do, or is this just something I would do for you because you asked me and wouldn't do it again? Because I take photos all the time with work. Like, that's literally a part of my job, is to take and edit photos. So like, it's not like I'm not going to get to be able to take photos, but it's different when you're doing it like on your own and whatever. So yeah, that was super fun. And then also, as always, this time of year, trashy corn, candy corn, coalition must be destroyed, gang, gang. This is year, let's see, I think I looked back. We started this in 2022. So 22, 23, 24, 25. This is the 4th year of this. And as y'all know, it started with me and Penrose, shout out. And then it's like when we both left Twitter, back when it was Twitter, we just weren't as engaged in it with each other. A little bit, but not really. And so then I still wanted to like make the memes and stuff. So I started posting them on Facebook and Instagram. And then people started catching wind that like I know and see every day. Oh, she doesn't like candy corn. So then it became this thing like different points throughout the year. They'll be like, oh, ha ha ha, tagging me in the same old candy corn memes. I just need everybody to know, if you just happen to listen to this, that like the reason I make my own cringy memes is because I don't want to use something that you could easily find out there, because I cannot tell y'all how many times I get sent, tagged in the comments of, DM'd, posted on my Facebook page, the same meme or the same reel over and over again. And it's probably something that I've honestly already seen before, because there's not much new out there. And so it's just funny. But this year has evolved because 2 years ago, somebody sent me candy corn in the mail and I made a video just throwing it away. Well, my video editing skills have evolved since then. So then last year, somebody sent me a candy corn, or they like bought some, put it on my car, and I came out of the office and it was just there. So then I recorded a video of me going all around and like dumping it out, stomping on it, and ultimately flushing it down the toilet, right? Well, this year, man, I have been sent or come home from work and there's just so much either candy corn or candy corn paraphernalia on my porch, on my driveway, or whatever, that this year I have been doing diss tracks. So if you know, I write poetry, and I actually used to write music a little bit, like for real at this church that I was at before. And so I am a writer, and a friend of mine, Lindsey, we used to like take beats and like do our own little remakes to songs. So I'm harnessing all of that into Trashy Corn diss tracks. So I have 2 official tracks out there. The first one, I did like a Usher Let It Burn, but it was just like a spoken word, and I feel like that was the precursor to the Trashy Corn diss tracks, because I like found the instrumental on, I think, TikTok, and figured out a way to get it on my Rodecaster and then get it on my Adobe Audition. And I've continued to learn like how to even record with a track. It's been such a fun learning process with each video. But I would say that was like the precursor to the actual diss tracks. So I did write one so far that's like an original. And I say that because it's like not me remixing a different song. It's actually my own little version of whatever. And it's funny because I'm using the Young and the Restless theme song as the track. And the reason why is because I saw a TikTok where these black male ballerinas are like doing these different dances or whatever to that track. And I was just like, I gotta write a diss song to this track. And there's that too, where once I get an idea in my head as a creative, because like at work, my job is I work in the creative department. I'm the marketing director. I produce video shoots and write copy and do all these things, but it's for someone else's brand. It's for someone else's project. It's someone else's creative direction and all of that. And that's great. I love my job. However, I've had so many scenarios like that over the years of like performing spoken word in somebody's event or, this, that, and the other, that it's always been when it comes to my own creative projects, it's like, I just want to do what I want to do and that's it. And then with that, I watch so many creators on TikTok and Instagram and I'm like, I really can do whatever I want. And so do I have the best vocals? No. Does that matter? Also, no, because I can literally do what I want. So it's been so fun. And I have about 3 to 4 videos worth of props, depending on how I want to kind of break this up. Cause I'm telling you, I'll come home from work and there'll just be stuff, whatever. But then also what I did is I took a video that I made last year and muted the audio and then used that video, cut it up a little bit because I had to, do a little whatever to like lengthen it. So just kind of experimented with that and then use that for a video for diss track number 2. Because here's the thing. Creators will repost videos all the time. It's actually encouraged to. I haven't given any sort of tips in a long time, but it's actually encouraged to, because there will be new people that are following you that may not have seen whatever that video was that you did before, especially if it was a piece of content that performed well. So just a little bonus tip or whatever. And so me learning all of that and even things we do at work, I'm just like, I can apply that to this, where there was a time I wanted to write a track, the second track, but I did not have the energy to like go out and record because I actually have to record myself destroying this candy corn that they give me. And in my mind, it needs to be different every time. Like I would just prefer if it's not the same. Oh, I'm not going to do the same thing every time. I'm not going to write the same song every time. And I'm not going to use the same track every time. And I'm not even going to have the same rationale for what track I use, because it has really been fun to just stretch myself creatively and really just, okay, I have an idea. I want to accomplish it and then put it out there. So yeah, that has been really, really fun this year. And what's funny is I used to create memes every day and I really haven't done that, so it's also, I feel like it's more impactful. I will just repost memes that I made in the past because I have years worth of stuff, and who knows, I may sit down and like actually create some, because here's the thing. It's the beginning of October and I started last month, and that's different too. Normally, I have been adamant about keeping the war within October, but because I was given candy corn earlier than, whatever, I said, hey, and I put out a disclaimer. I was like, y'all always want to talk about I'm going to buy you some candy corn. Okay, go off. You feel me? But do not give me anything that you don't want to see destroyed on camera. Now, I will say I folded on that with one thing. There will be nothing else. Somebody left a candy corn shaped pillow at my house. This is what I'm saying. Like, people are really out here like spending their, and I love it though, because it's so fun and I'm getting to create content that other people tell me how entertaining it is. Or shout out to the people, y'all, I'm the voice for the people, because there are people that also say they feel seen because of how much I trash on candy corn. Because it's this weird thing with, I'm not going to say all, but the amount of times that people try to tell me, you just have to try it with, no, I don't actually. You just have to accept the fact that I don't like candy corn. And that's okay, right? And it's okay that you eat it. But for some reason, it's not okay that I like it or that I don't like it. It has to be that I need to try this other kind. And I'm going to be so real. I feel like I said this on here years ago. At one point, there was like a trolley, like sour candy corn that I don't know where I got it from because I didn't buy it. But I thought to myself, like, okay, I like sour gummy worms. Maybe if I try this, it'll be a little different and I could tolerate it, because y'all swear by it like it's just really good, and it's just really not. And it's the texture too. So like the flavor, yeah, it was horrible. I hated it. So yeah, that's okay, you know? So it's been so fun, and I love coming home to the surprise, whatever, because it's just like, it catches me off guard and I don't fully know who it is. So there's that too, but I could narrow it down to a very small group of people, because not a ton of people know where I live, because we just moved here in February. I know it's definitely people that go to my church/job, because if you didn't know, I work at a church. So I definitely know it's that. But yeah, it's been super fun, and it's been fun writing the diss tracks and challenging myself even to like learn new things. And this last one, I actually figured out how to record in a better way with the track, because I'm the queen of I'm gonna make it happen, even if the way that I'm making it happen is low key a little bit kind of, you know what I'm saying, MacGyver in that thing. But hey, I'm gonna make it happen, right? Well, now I'm learning kind of like a better way to do it. So yeah, that is what I have for y'all. It actually, if I'm honest, it feels good to be back and recording. It always does. I've always loved podcasting, and I don't know, maybe I need to get out of the being so rigid of like, oh, I have to release on Fridays. Maybe I need to allow myself the freedom to release on a Saturday or release on a Sunday, because sometimes I feel a little, because Saturdays, like Friday's my day off, but I realize I don't want to record and edit a podcast on my day off, because then I'm like sitting in front of my computer. It's weird though. It's different when I'm recording trashy corn content, but I usually don't even do that on Fridays. So I'm getting to this place where it's kind of like, I don't want to do anything computer related on Fridays, because that is my actual like for real day off. Saturday, it's a day off, but I'll do a little bit of work. So maybe that's it. I don't know. We'll see. But nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning in and, you know, just kind of listening. And as always, you know, do what you got to do to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, as you've heard the different ways that I've been trying to hone in on that really the entire duration of this show. But even this last few weeks, like with energy and with energy preservation, it's kind of like, it felt very overwhelming to have to sit and record and even talk about liking somebody again. Like, I mean, and it's been a thing for a while, but I told Kayliana once, I was like, I'm not going to be talking about nobody else on this show. And, you know, it's part of life though. Like, and this is about my life and the ways I'm trying to grow. And there's things with the last situation that I probably would have done differently, honestly, if I was in a healed, like more healed state than I am now. It doesn't mean necessarily that the outcome would have changed. That's okay. But I see the growth I've had even with this situation, to where, you know, we out here growing, we out here just trying to be healthy, trying to love myself. And yeah, so that is what I have for y'all this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for...